We're back for episode 2. What's up, Cougar Country? Welcome back to the podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. How you doing, Coach Wilkins?
Shoot, great. Another week. Another week down after the crab feed. Crab feed was awesome. I'm pumped. It was great.
How do you feel about the turnout?
Oh, it was incredible. I don't know what the number of how many people it was, but it was packed from front to back easily. And we have some good dancers in Clovis.
Yeah.
We have some people that got some moves.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout. Lots of good food. Lots of big prizes. Lots of very big prizes.
We ran out of crab pretty fast too.
Oh, it was very fast. It was probably like an hour into it. It was like everyone was already done. They ran out of butter. They ran out of crab, but there's plenty of pizza. There's plenty of pizza for all the workers. But yeah, it was a great turnout. It was the first one that I went to as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
you took some good pictures?
Yeah, it was really good pictures. We obviously we have the silent auction and then we have the live auction. So the live auction are the bigger ticket items. The smaller items are all in the silent auction. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I've always worked it in the past, but it was cool to see it all in person, all of it, come together. We had a couple big ticket items, including you going golfing.
Yeah, me and Coach Hill.
Yeah.
We're going to go golfing. Hopefully I can smoke them. I have no idea. Yeah. They just said they said one. I think it was with Cynthia at athletics. She was like, "Oh, you're playing with Coach Hill." It seems. I was like, I am? Awesome. Cool. But yeah, I'm in. So we'll see. I got to get my game right. I've got a ways to go, but I'll get it right. With that, and we had a quad donated. Artworks donated us a quad, and they had a nice cougar head on it. And we had a dirt bike donated, a trip to Hawaii, a trip to Shaver, Pismo, golfing with me and Coach Pat Hill. I mean, you name it. It was amazing. And so, we had super shout out to Tammy, De La Cruz, and all the boosters because they put on a heck of an event, got a ton of donations, and there's just so many gifted people. You donated your shoes. Maybe next year we'll do some crocodile cowboy boots.
Oh, definitely.
I think those will be rocking. And maybe some ostrich. Could do that
as well.
Could
do
that
with that as well. I think that would be cool. It's coming up to the rodeo too. We might be making boots for that as well, so we could add that into the silent auction.
That's right. So it was awesome. I was super happy about the event. I think I think everybody's excited, and I think everybody's willing to, like I said in the first podcast that we talked about, the communities coming on board and getting them involved. And I think that was a start, and now we're just going to keep it rolling. Right? It's a small snowball so far, so we're just going to keep it rolling and keep it growing and keep them coming.
Yeah, it was a good event. We talked about the season. We talked about it was kind of everyone coming together, talking to each other, meeting Coach for the first time, getting to talk to him. Everyone that I've talked to is nothing but good things. So we love to hear that. But on the media wise, you're watching YouTube right now. If you haven't watched the first episode, definitely watch that one. But we're going to be adding the live stream on YouTube as well as our website, clovishighfootball.com. I'll throw all the links up right now for all of our other social medias. We're adding editing now. Very cool edits.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Photos.
Yep. You'll see the youngsters. We'll get some edits. We're recruiting our whole feeder system too. So that's part of it. So if your young son gets a graphic, an edit, in one of the feeders that is within Clovis High School District, then have them put it out there on social media. That's just what we're doing. We're going to recruit our own system, and that's part of it.
Yeah,
shout out to you. Those were amazing.
Definitely.
Those are amazing. You're doing great work. Fantastic work.
We're changing this whole thing around. We want to, look as great as possible for you all. Or the one thing I do want to implement as well. So once you do see this, definitely pay attention to it. Is something like Wallpaper Wednesday. So every Wednesday, I'm going to be posting a size to size for like a wallpaper for an iPhone. So definitely check that out. So you could screenshot that. That could be your new wallpaper. That'd be something very cool. Maybe one Wednesday we could get a picture of you just screaming at someone. Right?
Just come every single day. You'll find 100 pictures of those. Me screaming, going crazy.
Yeah, and then so the men just ended their workout right now. Was it first period?
It was our second period. Our youngsters. Yep.
Okay. Second period. Talk about they now kind of have new uniforms, if you want to call them new uniforms. They're all matching now. What's so important about that? Because now they look like even more of a team, you know.
Yeah. So uniformity is big. You know, obviously, I think when we talk about being uniform, it's not just like wearing a jersey. It's we all dress the same in the weight room. We all have our shirts tucked in. Shout out to Artworks for Trans Sanders as well for working together to get us our brand new weight room shirts. They look amazing. And like I told the players, like if you guys are wearing that or you're not entering the weight room. So again, it's just if a Cougar, an alumni comes and they walk in, it's just that we look the part. We look like a program. There's just a difference between building a team, and I told the players this. I don't want to just build a team. I want to build a program, and that's part of it, uniformity in everything we do. When you come to practice, we look alike. When you come to our weight room, we look alike. Obviously, we better all have the same jerseys on Friday and Thursday nights, but the reality is that we have to look uniform everywhere we are and everywhere we go.
And then we got fifth quarter as well. Kind of talk about that. So people that know about fifth quarter, it's kind of our after-school program. So all the kids go out to the field and they just work their butts off, go through drills, go through working out. But talk more about that as well.
Yeah, the fifth quarter is really to get us prepared for summer combines, really, and spring recruiting. So in the college system, colleges are going through spring ball right now, and then usually most of them finish up here by May, and then by May, they all have an opportunity to come around and recruit the campus. So what we're trying to do is in the fifth quarter is to coach them up on what a 40 looks like, coach them up on their 5-10 5s, to make sure that their L cone drill, the vertical, just all the things that college coaches look for, that we're all prepared for that. So the fifth quarter, we just go out and we work on speed. We have speed school. We go out there and we just work on, just the things that you need to get right. So by the time May comes around and we have our recruiting showcase, which we're working on with all the other schools as well, once we have our recruiting showcase, you put on a show out there for college coaches, because my hope is that we can get as many college coaches here to look at our kids, and our young men are prepared and they're ready. And again, then really in June, the college summer camps open up. And that's when you better be ready to go run a 40, because they're going to time you in a 40. They're going to time you in your 20. They're going to time you in a 5-10 5, an L cone, a vertical, et cetera. Your broad jump. That's another thing we've been working on, is how do you execute a proper broad jump. So, we're doing everything we can at Clovis High School, not just to be a good football team and build a program, but how do we prepare you the best so when college coaches do come, everybody gets a shot. Because again, we may have a college coach, and I can tell you the story about at Reed College. When Wyoming came to recruit Josh Allen, they were actually looking at another player, and that's how they found him. So again, is that an opportunity out here where a college coach comes to look at a specific player, and then all of a sudden out of the corner of his eye says, "Who's that?" Right? Oh, he's been preparing, coach. That's why he looks that way. He's been working every day, and that's what the fifth quarter is about. However, the other part of the fifth quarter is the academic piece, is our game plan for life kind of stuff, right? If your grades aren't up to par and where they need to be, then we have Coach Gleason. Shout out to Coach Gleason for staying the extra hour every day after school to make sure our kids are in working on their homework. Because again, you guys, as a player, the boys don't do me any good if they're not eligible, and I'm not going to waste any reps on a young man that's not going to be eligible. We play him for 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden he's gone. That's not my cup of tea. So all of our players will be, our standard for our program is we want a team GPA of 3.2 and above, and we want everyone above the 2.5 core. And the reason why the 2.5 core is important is because that's the threshold of NC2A eligibility, where you don't have to get into the academic redshirt stuff, and it just keeps things clean. So 2.5 core and above for everyone in our program, 3.2 team GPA. And again, I've always been around programs that harp academics. The more academically sound you are, the better you play on the field. It all correlates. You know that. I mean, it all correlates. So that's the gist of the fifth quarter. Opportunities for our players to develop, to work hard, and opportunities for us to develop them so they have the best chance to go to the next level and to get into college, because education is key, and knowledge will always govern over ignorance. So we want to make sure that we are always the knowledgeable group.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, grades is a whole thing too, especially with all these kids. You got to keep your grades up over a certain point just to play sports, let alone even be eligible.
Yeah, how many millions of kids out there want to play college football?
So many.
Yeah, and as a college coach, I've been there. What's the differentiator? The academics.
Yeah.
Like, okay, same guy, 3.2, 2.2. I'm taking a 3.2.
Yeah.
You know, shoot, one of the guys, I actually retweeted his tweet that I know that I work with at Liberty. He said my cutoff for quarterbacks is a 3.0 GPA, because I know that if my quarterbacks put the effort in, again, it's not a measure necessarily of intelligence. It's a measure of hard work ethic, dedication to their craft. So yeah, I mean, those are things that college coaches look at for sure.
If you're watching this, if you're in high school in Clovis High area, or if you're in the CUSD district, grades are so important, especially with going out to a college. I mean, as Coach just said, if there's two guys that are the same, they're going to pick the guy with a higher GPA. If they see that you're maybe like in the 2 point something, they're always going to think in the back of their head, maybe this kid isn't a good kid, or even you might be a great kid. You might have messed up a couple tests. If you try to get it over that 3.0, then they'll actually take you more serious compared to just thinking, maybe
Sure.
You got a 2.5. I don't really trust this kid, which a lot of kids that happens to, and sometimes too they're lucky enough to go to a great JC program, and then they get out of there, then they go to a 4-year and they do good. But some kids, they just, unfortunately, it doesn't kind of articulate, I guess, in their head, like you got to have good grades to go to the next level, because that's what they're looking half the time. For sure.
I was a JC guy, but that's the thing I tell the kids is I was very intelligent. I've always been very intelligent. I just was never pushed academically in high school, and so that was one of the things that when I got to junior college, I also happened to be, an academic all-conference player. Because I knew that, and I had a coach at the JC level that understood that that's the only way you get out of JC is to make sure your academics are right. You guys are all great players, but the only chance you have is to get your academics where they need to go. And, for incoming freshmen who are coming into Clovis High School, it is my goal and it is our goal to get them started on the right track. And really, it's all about, if they know what the standard is, as soon as they get in, they just are rolling, and we're rolling through it. But sometimes, you don't know what you don't know. Most kids, when I told them, hey, your 2.5 core is the bare minimum, they didn't know that. They thought that all you have to do is graduate high school and if I have a college scholarship, great, then I get to go. And, there's SAT and ACT scores, and some have gotten rid of them, but some have not. Some still, that's the base barrier if I can get into another school, is to make sure I also have a good SAT, ACT score. Yeah. So academics are, academics, I always say this, academics are like, I'm a vehicle, but academics are the fuel that get me from point A to point B, not my athleticism. Athleticism is great, and I've been there in a college when we took a chance on a kid, always burnt us. Always burnt us. He got there, he had already had bad habits, and college is different than high school. You can't just pass them and push them through. Professors don't really care. They get paid either way. So they're just whatever. Hey, he didn't make it, and all of a sudden now he's transferring back home, or he's going to a JC to get right. We want to avoid that here. We want those guys to be college ready by the time they leave our factory.
And I think most of the time too in high school, you only really have bad grades by missing assignments. I feel like most of the time it's either missing days or missing assignments.
Correct.
And if you go to like our after school program, you'll be able to catch up, a lot easier.
Exactly.
If you're watching this, don't miss your class. Don't miss assignments. Always turn in those assignments, because I feel like, as long as you stay, on point with everything, you could at least keep around like a 3.0.
Bingo. And maximize your potential. If you are a 3.0 student, be a 3.0 student. If you are a 2.5 student, be a 2.5 student. Don't be a 3.0 student with a 2.5 GPA and a 2.5 student with a 2.0 GPA, and don't be a 2.0 student with a 1.5 GPA, because then you won't play. The higher our academics, the more people that, the more marketable I can become. When you go to college, you become a marketable individual, and so you have to market yourself in the best manner possible, and the more the more things you do right, the better chances you have. And it's not just D1. Everybody wants to go D1. They have no idea it's not just D1. What about the Division III score, the NAIA school? Some Division III schools, so if you got into John Hopkins because you had great academics, that's a life-changing degree. If you got into Georgetown because you had great academics, that's a life-changing degree. So you want to be prepared for all of those moments if they do come your way.
What was when talk about what was the thing that you tweeted the other day? Was it 3 out of the 5 students?
Yeah,
at
so that
the
was Georgia
college?
Tech. One of the guys that when I was a recruiter in Georgia, I used to recruit his high school, and he got on at staff at Georgia Tech, and he's one of the recruiting analysts at Georgia Tech, and he tweeted something that said 3 out of 5 Georgia Tech graduates, not football graduates, graduates within that institution become millionaires. And I retweeted and I said, use the game, don't be used by it. You know, when you have an opportunity like that to get a degree at an academic institution like that, don't just get a degree, get a meaningful degree in something that means something, engineering, math, etc. Just those things, finance, something where you're going to change your career and your life because you put the effort in. Sometimes we look at the NFL as our avenue when really the odds to make it to the NFL are 0.001%. Well, instead of focusing on the 0.001%, let's focus on the other 99.9% chance that we have. And the 99.9% chance that we have is to go there, get the degree, and get it done. And then, wow, at least if you don't make it to the NFL, you got like a superior backup plan.
Yeah. What do you always what do you tell kids if they come to you and they might have like 2 or 3 different offers, but they don't really know where to go? What do you always kind of lean towards when you first look at their colleges?
Yeah, that one, honestly, so many kids nowadays focus on the relationship with the coaching staff, and I'm going to be real. That coaching staff will probably, by the time that kid gets there and gets out, not be there. That's just college football in general. So do not focus on coaching staff. Do not focus on the institution where those academics get me. Again, look at the graduation rate. Look at all of the stuff that matters. Look at the median income of a person who graduates from that university. If you have 3 choices, that's how I'm choosing. Okay, where when I graduate is my highest income going to be? Has nothing to do with coaching staff. And again, that's part of it. Coaching staff sells that, and we would always sell that at the college level. Like, oh, go where you want it the most, right? Go here to this school because you got the best relationship with us. But, once again, as soon as your position coach, just remember, as soon as you go into that school, your position coach is looking to go somewhere else. That's just how it is at that business. And again, that may be harsh, but it's the truth and the reality of that business. And those guys, as they recruit you, aren't going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you, "Hey, man, I'm trying I'm trying to get over here to the higher level and make it's a money-driven business, especially nowadays." So that's my advice. If you got 3, choose the one that's going to get you to the best in terms of the academics.
Oh, there's so many stories that like even my friends have gone through where they get recruited, and the first year that they're there, it's already a new coaching staff. The new coaching staff is now bringing other guys in that they want.
Yep.
And they won't even look at the guys that got recruited previously.
100%.
And it's, oh, my goodness. It's
100%.
It's a horror story.
Just remember this, that as soon as the new head coach comes in, he is going to play the guys that he recruited. It's just that's just the way the cookie crumbles. He's not – He those guys trust their own evaluation skills. Let's put it that way. So that would be, again, that's always tough. Coaching changes are inevitable at that level. So don't worry about going to play for a specific coach. Worry about the grades and the academics.
Let's change our course a little bit. We were talking in the group chat last night, and you were talking about the difference between bodybuilding and then like strength and agility for sports. Why is it so important not to do curls and do bench press every single day compared to maybe doing more like squats and cleans and more agility stuff for football wise?
Yeah, so I think like powerlifting and Olympic lifting versus bodybuilding, one requires athleticism, the other does not. If you've ever watched Olympic lifters, it requires a tremendous amount of mobility and athleticism to perform a snatch and a clean. We have a lot of players, unfortunately, they got all these TikTok videos of all these bodybuilders, and our kids look at that and they say, "Ooh, I want to look like that," which is fine. Obviously everybody wants to look a certain way, but we here have to train in a way that's conducive to translation on the football field. So a lot of these systems that we learned, I've learned it from some of the best strength coaches, literally the best strength coach in the world, Bill Gillespie. And what it's about moving weight, moving it with speed, full range of motion, and dynamic strength. Can I move weight? Can I move it fast? Because I guarantee you, we could line up against a team of a bunch of bodybuilders and literally whip their tails because we can move and they can't, right? It's not about it's all about how much force I can put on an object, how much force I can create from the ground up, and how explosive I can become. So what we do here is very advanced for the high school level. But I think we're getting more buy-in because I do believe as I show videos of what these guys were pushing at Liberty, they're like, holy smokes. Like, I showed the video of the guy squatting 540 at 0.6 meters per second. That's just like, the bar could jump off his back. That's how fast he can move it. That translates to football, right? How fast I can move weight translate to football. Some guys max out and they're just gritty grinding the whole way and they're moving it as slow as they can. That doesn't do us any good in football. It doesn't matter if I can move a bunch of weight if I can't move it fast. So stop bodybuilding. All you youngsters out there, and again, parents, if you're a bodybuilder, I have nothing against that. When I get older, I'm not focused on moving 500 pounds with speed, but for our young players to make it sport specific and transitional and translational, focus on those guys moving weight, moving it fast, and moving it with great technique.
Oh yeah, right now I guess you could say I'm bodybuilding, but it's so much different than just like sports working out. Like sports working out, you got to be fast, you got to be athletic, you got to be flexible, you got to be very flexible, you got to be able to have a lot of agility and like using different aspects too, whether you're just you try to just push it up as fast as possible, you try to squat up as fast as possible.
Exactly.
Does a lot more than maybe one max reps. You do that 3 times and call it a day.
Well, wait till we get the Tendo units in here, because the Tendo units give you feedback on how fast you're moving the bar. Now that young man can look at that Tendo unit and say, oh, I moved that bar at whatever it is, 0.8 meters per second. I want to be at 0.6. So now you're creating feedback and intent when you train. So I think like I said, what we're going to do here is very advanced. We got to get the equipment in here. We got to fund it and get all that stuff going. But once it all gets rolling, we're really going to be able to move well. And just a simple thing we did this morning when we were doing our front squats is just put a med ball right underneath their butt and makes their butt touch the med ball. That forces them to get mobile in their hip joints, right? That forces them to keep their spine in line but get their butt down to the ball. So just little things like that. We're creating a very athletic, strength. Strength is a measure of how much weight I can move. Power is what we want to measure. Can I move that weight and move it fast?
Oh, yeah. Especially, too, if you go against, like, a freak athlete that's, like, a defensive lineman that's already somehow 6 foot or, like, 6'6", and they're, like, 300 pounds. You got to be explosive, get underneath them, and then have, fast-firing hips, knees, legs just to drive them out. None of the slow stuff will work out, but
I totally agree.
It doesn't matter on your height. Clovis High always has these short, stocky guys.
Correct.
We get firing up underneath them. You're done. You
That's
get
right.
the hands
Still a game of leverage, isn't it?
Exactly.
Angles and leverage.
Exactly. But yeah, that helps so much. Just like especially some of the kids, especially with TikTok too. TikTok, just
stay off TikTok. Just stay off TikTok. That's probably
unless you're following our TikTok.
That's right. Stay off TikTok.
Yeah.
What you see is not reality. What you see is not reality, and some of that's not natural either. Some of those are called asteroids.
Yes.
We want to stay completely away from that stuff.
Real quick, make sure like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to sponsor this podcast or sponsor any of our other content, as well as our live stream, we're going to have all that going on. Please email me at cougarnetworkmedia@gmail.com, cougarnetworkmedia@gmail.com. First game of the year, Long Beach Poly. They already posted about it. It's going to be a big game. I saw a lot of people, too. They were saying, hey, Clovis is a big team, What do you think about that?
Yeah,
are you excited? I'm excited.
Of course, absolutely. And the philosophy always and will always be, in order to be the best, you got to play the best. We can't be a program that's afraid to play up. So it's going to prepare us too, and this is the truth. We had our AD, who's awesome, Jesse Hardwick. What a great guy, and he's been guiding me through this. He said, well, another team wants to play you, and I was just thinking to myself, what's going to prepare us best for the track? And the reality is playing Long Beach Poly is going to prepare us, and we're going to know right where we're at, which I like as a head coach. Week 1, we're going to know how much improvement we either have to make or we're right where we want to be, and we just got to keep them, consistent and steady throughout the year. Our boys will be ready. We're not. Did you ever see the St. Peter's coach when he was talking about his guys, and they asked him, well, Coach, are you afraid of of the playing these bigger schools like Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what he said?
No.
No, he said, "I've got a bunch of guys from Philly. We ain't afraid of nobody," and that's just our mentality too. Is we got a bunch of guys from Clovis.
Yeah.
Yeah. The logo doesn't make us afraid at all. And again, they're a great opponent. They have great football players. I mean, they got one of the top quarterbacks in the country. So great. Like if you're a competitive dude and you're a competitive individual, you'll rise up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you will be ready to go. And I'm excited. I can't wait for it. I know LaMonica's going to be packed. I know that people are going to be excited to watch that. And I know that there's going to be doubters, but who cares? Like I told our players, listen, everything that we do, all that other stuff on the outside is rat poison. Don't listen to it. Don't embrace it. If we have each other and we grind it out, all we got to do is get into the fourth quarter, and our training will take over. We're working hard, and our boys will be ready to play. Our boys will be ready to play.
Yeah. I'll pop up the date right now. Boop. I'll pop it up right there. So that's going to be our first home game. That's definitely going to be a big game for the community, big game for the school. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very cool, very fun. Live stream that. Beat them down. Snoop Dogg show up. You got to show up, okay? We'll give you shoes. We'll give you shirts. We'll give you jerseys or whatnot. You got to show up. But, yeah, that's going to be a very cool game. And then, so when do you think the schedule will come out?
It's coming out soon. It just got finalized. So, obviously
Perfect.
You'll make a nice little, edit for it, and we'll pop it out there. It's going to be a great year. We got a great schedule, and obviously we play in one of the toughest leagues, in the country. So, nothing's going to be handed to us. We're going to have to earn everything, and that's why you play at Clovis. That's why you come to Clovis, because the reality is that there's no easy days. You got to show up and you got to perform, or you could get beat. And like I said in my interview, I'm on a smart, tough football team that plays well under pressure. And again, pressure is the privilege, but you don't feel pressure if you're prepared. So the more we're prepared, the less pressure we will feel. But we'll be ready.
Yeah, definitely. But it'll be good. And you're playing these bigger teams and whatnot, and then some kids, will be confident about it. But then I feel like there is a difference between cockiness and confidence. What do you think the difference is? Especially with playing a bigger team.
Sure.
Whether they're a bigger team or not, but social media will show it out to be. What do you think will help the kids with that?
Well, I think as I communicated to our guys, the difference between a cocky guy and a confident guy is a cocky guy's got to run his mouth. He's got to let everyone know how great he is. That guy's just cocky. A confident guy, he just shuts his mouth. He does his work, and everybody tells him how good he is. That's just the difference between the cockiness and the confidence. So like I told our players, we're not gonna get in social media battles at all. Like I want them to stay away from that stuff. I want them to just focus on going to work every single day, because if we don't work, and we don't focus on what we're trying to accomplish here, none of that stuff's gonna come to fruition anyways. It's a atmosphere of work here, not an atmosphere of talk. And so the more working, the less talking we can do, the better. And I've already been on social media, and I've already told the kids to take some stuff down. Again, there's a standard even on social media, and this is just, it's off the top of my head, but a great reminder this is for I don't care where you are. If you're a high school player, you better monitor your social media, and especially if you want to play in college. I have been witness to people who have pulled scholarships because of what they've seen on your social media. So take it off. Just take it off. Remember that you are a product, and everything that you post not only is a reflection of yourself, but a reflection of the school that you represent. So like I told the players, you're a reflection of me, you're a reflection of Clovis High. What you put on your social media reflects us. So that's just something, again, and I know I kind of got off on a tangent there, but that's an important thing to me, is to make sure that we on social media, we're not all, we're going to be all over social media to recruit our own kids, but not to the extent where we're bad-mouthing or talking down on anybody. We never want to give, that would be a bad idea to give Long Beach Poly any excuse to use to come in here and try to play even harder than they're already going to play, if that makes sense. So we ain't going to give them no excuse. We're just going to shut our mouth. We're going to go to work, and when they show up, we're gonna battle it out and see who's better.
Definitely. I mean, if you're watching this, they can see your username. They can see all the posts you like. They can see everyone that you're following. So just just be safe with that. Don't be dumb. There's plenty of kids that I went to high school with as well that were liking very inappropriate stuff that you shouldn't even be.
Oh, we look at all of it, guys. We look at all of it.
Like touching. It's
100%.
Like,
we look at all of it. What you
guys are
like,
gonna
who you
look at
follow. Absolutely. We look at it all.
Uh-huh.
Trust me. We look at it all. It's a reflection of yourself. So be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
And then talking about social media, could we get a little sneak peek of the jerseys? What are we working with, or are we keeping that a secret? For now?
Once they come out, Tyler will have free reign to go use his creative juices to show the community. I gave you free reign. You know that he's super talented. Like I told the players, he's as talented as any Division I creative content director I've ever been around. So once those things get out, we will let you be creative, and it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. But I come from the old school still. It's not about the uniform. It's about your team. It's about putting your hand in the dirt, and it's about firing off and knocking people back.
Definitely.
So we'll look good while we do it, but that's still the mindset.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I know it's obviously it doesn't matter, but I love that because we're gonna have a cool schedule. We're gonna have a bunch of pictures. We'll give you guys all a uniform reveal. That'll be all fun. And also, if you have any questions. If you want to ask Coach any questions, comment down below. I'm also going to, right after this, I'm going to be posting another questionnaire on our Instagram, and that will be asked for next episode. So right now, this episode is going to be out every Thursday. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing. On Fridays, we're going to have like a highlight / vlog of all the older kids going through the workout here. So definitely ask any questions, but I'm not too sure. We pretty much went over everything last week. It was pretty good. Everyone at the crab feed seemed like they enjoyed it. The community's very happy. If you do, as I said again, if you have any questions, definitely comment down below. But off season, we're ready. We're looking good.
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, we got a long way to go. There's a huge process we still have to go through, but we are getting better every day. Like I tell the kids, daily deposits. We're going to keep stacking days, and then once we stack days, we can stack weeks. Once we stack weeks, we can stack months. Once we stack months, then we can stack years, and that's when you got a championship program. So we got a long way to go. We're still in the stacking weeks part, and then we got to stack a month here, and but we'll get there. We'll get there. They're what's nice is that they're starting to build leadership amongst themselves. I'm giving them opportunities to lead, and the work ethic in the weight room is starting to match the words that I hear that kids want to do. Because you can't tell me you want to be a champion but not pay a champion's price. So they're working on learning how to pay a champion's price. And championships don't wait for anybody. They'll leave you in the dust. So we can't get left in the dust. We got to keep the pace up.
So we got spring football, and then we got summer football, and we got season, right?
And then we'll be ready.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well, I think we've done enough right here.
I think we covered it all. If you have any questions, please ask me. You can follow me on my Instagram as well, Coach A. Wilkins.
I'll plop that up right there as well.
Awesome. And I just, again, can't tell you enough how excited I am to be the head coach here, and we'll just keep grinding, keep working, and keep filling on what's happening. Check us out on Friday, and you will see our vlog of our guys going to work. Appreciate the time.
Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share this with a friend, share it on your story, share it on your Facebook. Go follow him. I'll have all of his up right now, as well as all the Clovis ones. So follow all of those as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Go Cougs.